How's it going, Toons of the world? It's your pal Squeakachu back again with another video. And let me remind you, I only make these when I feel like they're entirely necessary. This is my problem. There's nobody here! Okay, so here's my problem. TTR has decided to remove the ability to make boarding groups right here in the worst decision I've ever seen made by this development team. And let me get this straight. The TTR development team has done a great job with field offices. They've delivered on their promises, even though it took them 4 years. They've improved the game. They've made quality of life changes. It's good. TTR is a good game. However, the removal of boarding groups is horrendously bad, Toontown Rewritten. It is horrendously bad. I don't know what you were thinking. There is no way that you played this game without boarding groups and pushed it to live. There is no way that you had testers do Cellbot factories or try to make groups in a huge MMO setting with this new boarding group change. They're awful. They're terrible. Who wants to run to a bullion? Like, who? Like, I was down in the Mega Snoop comment section today, and let me tell you, the amount of people who are liking that video, who are liking the premise of bring back our boarding groups, is tremendous. And the people who want to explore the game and who want to have some of that nostalgic feeling back, they're part of the problem. You need to not let that happen. And no disrespect for the people who think that this boarding group change is a good idea, but you're wrong. You're just straight wrong. The MMO style of doing things in a game is based on the ease of access to players and how fast the player can get back into the action of the game without all the downtime of traveling. Final Fantasy had this problem, fixed it. World of Warcraft had this problem, fixed it. There are so many examples of an MMO, a bigger MMO, having this issue where there is a lot of downtime in between action in the game, and they improve on it. But instead, our pals back at TTR have decided that boarding groups were bad. Well, let me get this straight. First of all, for all you people who think that it's a nostalgia thing, Disney put this in the game after the launch of Toontown. This update with, all of them, I think a lot of updates were pushed 2005, 2006. They were pushed in a way that helped the game grow. When Cashwood HQ came out in Toontown Online, they had to introduce boarding groups because who wanted to run all the way to the Bullion Mint? There were instances where these people would be spamming huge blocks of text, immense blocks of text, across the Cashbot HQ. And who wants to look at that? You would walk into Cashwood HQ and there would just be white blobs on your screen because back in the day, computers were crap and you couldn't click on things very well if you were on a laptop. So that fix of the boarding groups made it so that you could be you could commune with players on the stairs. You could, say any, if you just need some cogs, you can say any. They removed that. It just makes no sense. Toontown, what are you doing? I don't even know if you even understand why boarding groups were so important in the first place. If you honestly think that boarding groups were important in the first place because they were cutting down on the time to explore the COG HQs and for a friendlier environment, you're just wrong. Right? And back when we in TTO, we didn't have Toonhq, and now we do. So it's easy to see the usernames that you need to invite to your group and then go. Right? There is no need to run all the way to the side factory. There's no need to run all the way to a bullyman. There is absolutely no need to run all the way through the DA office lobby just to play the video game. And it would be better if the COG HQs weren't the size of Mississippi or Texas or Alaska, but they're so big. The COG HQs are so big that it doesn't make sense to increase the travel time. The The update pushed and boarding groups were broken. 50% of the time they worked, and the other 50% either tunes were left behind or the game crashed. And it's awful. Everyone I see talking about this game, every one of my friends that I know, and I know a lot of people. Everyone says that this is a bad update. This is a bad change. The only thing bad about this update was the boarding groups and the carryover damage. Totally different thing, maybe for another video. But the boarding groups, in particular, just awful. Terrible. And I understand, Joey, giving them a shot, but for real, to think that you even thought about the boarding group change in a logical MMO sense for a second is asinine, because there is no way, no shot that you actually considered what removing boarding groups from, like, in all circumstances would do for a group. In my opinion, revert it. Just put it back to the way it was. Everybody liked it. Everybody understood it. The people who didn't, they learned, right? They're like, if you didn't know how to make a boarding group, that sucks. You just need to be better at the game at that point, right? It's Toontown. It's not that hard. It's made for like 7-year-olds. Boarding groups were made by Disney for 7 to 8-year-olds. Boarding groups were fine how they were, and the fact that you took them out of the game hurts the game, and it doesn't make things more nostalgic, it doesn't make things easier and more explorative, it doesn't help the players that need to get to where they need to go. It increases the travel time, and it makes it more frustrating for players, because they need to get to where they need to go, and they need to do it faster. Okay. That's going to be it for my video. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. And if you think that this video is crap, you're a loser. Bye.